I did not read it. Thank you. Tim. Okay, would you mind helping me out with the court's permission? Do you see what Mr. Kokomo has placed on the screen? They're in front of you, to your left, otherwise definitely behind you. And you have it in front of you as well. You see that?
I do.
Okay, and is that the gentleman who you identified as knowing as Mr.
Thank you.
Brian Williams, performer known as, or business person known as Birdman?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to go through some of these pictures, or this part of the picture with you, okay?
Okay.
Do you notice, and can you point for the jurors? So you're going to have to, if you don't mind, help us out.
Okay.
Anything that you would say in your expertise, study, training, is gang related on that picture that you can show us?
So before I do anything, I'll preface it by saying that I don't know Mr. Williams, and so as a gang investigator, one thing that I recognize and that we've discussed here during my testimony is that many, if not most, gang identifiers can also be used in a context that's not gang related, including some things that may be in this photograph, for instance, a 5-point star, even a red 5-point star. So without having a background on Mr. Williams, I would hesitate to say that any of his tattoos are necessarily gang tattoos.
And I am not saying that Mr. Brian Birdman Williams is in any way related to any type of gang. I'm just asking you, and you made that clear, and I appreciate that. I just want you to point out on his picture, number 45.
Answer the damn question.
You believe may, I'm not saying they are, may be on somebody else, on me, be a gang identifier.
I would suggest your speculation.
He's an expert. He gets to speculate.
For the jurors, how many 5 stars you see in that picture?
All right, so you're asking me to point out what now?
How many 5 stars you see?
You mean count them or point them out?
Both.
Okay.
Do both, motherfucker. Hey, Jelly Bee.
And if there's any color to that, just show the jurors, tell the jurors the color you see.
Okay, so this appears, can't see the whole thing, but I would assume that's a 5-point star and it's red.
Is that the BET
Yes,
star,
guys?
guys?
So that's
I
2,
feel like that's BET logo.
3.
Like that's the BET logo.
I believe there's one here. You kind of can't see it on the screen, but that's 5. And the picture that I'm holding is a little clearer than what's on the screen.
Their picture, and then orient the jurors on the screen. They'll have the picture.
So I believe this also.
Al-Shabazz gets things done for our community. Take a look. Swazi worked with police to lower crime, worked with both parties to strengthen our border, and lowered prescription drug costs. Tom Swazi, a common sense approach, getting things done.
Sorry.
Name is reversed, an R and a G, I would say. Do you recognize that?
I do.
And just point out for ladies and gentlemen, jury, if you don't mind. And do you know, if you do know, what RG is or stands for?
I do.
Tell the jurors what it is.
It stands for Rich Gang.
And tell them what that
BT
is.
logo.
No, there's a record label or imprint. Not sure what the technical term is.
See his
Okay.
jaw?
And do you know who owns or, and if you don't, that's fine, that record label?
I don't know who the owner of the record label is now.
Okay, who's involved with it, if you know?
I mean, there's probably many people involved in it.
Okay, is Mr. Williams, Brian Birdman Williams involved?
Yes.
And do you know when they existed, that record label?
I couldn't tell you the dates. It was in this time period that we're talking about, 2011, 12, 13.
Okay, and was Mr., not to be confused with Brian Williams, but was Mr. Jeffrey Williams, to your knowledge, part of?
Hey, you wanna stop?
Yes, he was.
And
What's up, little?
I'd like to
Little
show
baby
you
channel, you back? What's going on, family?
State's Exhibit 56W, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna do a little live streaming today. Gotta.
Thank you. And when you get a chance, can you blow up?
Oh, shit.
Do you see in front of you, that was 56W, and if not, it's at the bottom right.
I do.
Okay, you remember that?
I do.
Okay. And the gentleman on the right is Mr. Williams, fair to say?
Yes.
And the gentleman, I'm gonna take that back. The person on the left is Mr. Copeland, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And they're both wearing what I would say is similar but inverted jerseys or sweatshirts. Is that a fair allegation, representation?
It is.
And one of them, Mr. Copeland, has a RG in red letters and white background, and underneath it, it looks like it's Rich Gang, but I don't see the I. You see that?
I do.
And then Mr. Williams has what appears to be, it's not fully there, but the RG in white saying Rich Gang, it looks like, but not all letters there, and then stars, 5 stars. You see that underneath it?
I do.
And the sweatshirt though itself is red background, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is that, if you know, at the time of this photograph, is that merchandise from Rich Gang?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And merchandise is where people in entertainment make some money. Not necessarily all of it, but they make some money off merchandise, right?
They do.
And other people make money more off merchandise, right?
Okay. Thank you, Venus. I'm like,
Sure.
Okay.
we gonna throw BET in the Rico?
What is illegal about wearing the Rich Gang attire?
Objection.
There is nothing illegal about wearing the Rich Gang attire.
Oh,
And what is illegal about wearing the Rich Gang attire along with a hand that you described, I'm going to use Mr. Williams' hand, left hand, as YSL. You see those letters?
Yes.
Okay. And would you do me a favor, just show the jurors how you get the YSL, just a Mr. Williams photo if it helps you?
It's this hand sign right here.
Yeah, but just do the Y first, please.
Here would be the Y.
Yes?
Then I believe the curling of the fingers is going to form the S.
Show me the S.
this seems so
Curling the
contrived.
fingers in.
Okay. And what's the L?
The L is
Thumb.
here.
Okay. What is illegal about wearing that Rich Gang sweatshirt and putting up that sign?
There's nothing illegal about that, that combination of things.
Okay. And then posting it, that's still lawful, right?
It is lawful to post that.
All right. Okay. Now,
I can't believe that went so well.
reason to believe that Mr. Brian Birdman Williams, with all those 5-star, I think you had 6, whatever the number was, you're not saying that he is doing anything illegal, are you?
I don't believe there's anything illegal captured in this photograph.
Okay. Are you aware of the musical video lifestyle? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know of it, but I've not ever seen it.
Okay. Do you know what lifestyle is?
Do I know what lifestyle is?
In relation to Rich Gang?
Yes,
Tell the jurors.
it's a song.
And also, was that song wildly popular?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Do you know if it had more than 600 million views?
I don't know how many views it's had.
Okay, you can check that too when you come back.
Yeah, give him some homework
And
still.
where would I be checking with views on that?
YouTube.
Okay.
It's easy to do, right?
I love
Should
it.
be.
Okay. And were you aware that that was released approximately the time of Danny Glover in relationship?
I don't know when they were released in relation to each other.
All right. Do you know the song Stoner by Jeffrey Williams?
I do.
And is that song wildly popular?
To the extent that I know what we're defining as wildly popular, it was a very popular song.
Okay. And that was a song also went throughout the world, right?
I don't know its global reach, but it was a very popular song.
And that song came out about the same time as Danny Glover and Lifestyle and Stoner, if you know.
Yes, I do know, and that song did.
And by approximately, to put this in context, since we have Lifestyle
Can we play it?
and Rich Gang with a date,
We've been trying to play it.
approximately, if it's true, and if you don't know, just say, I don't know. By 2012, 13, 14, Mr. Williams was very well known in the gangster rap industry. Is that fair to say? As a musician, if you know.
He's an expert.
Do you know that he was working multiple times he was playing live every week for years? Were you aware of that?
I don't know what his live schedule was overall this time period.
Did you ever look at his Twitter account to see the promotion of every single week for years where he is performing?
I did see much of his promotion on his Twitter account. I don't recall every single week where he was performing.
If I showed it to you, would you remember it, you think? Would it refresh your memory?
Of course, I've seen the tweets of his promotion, and I'm not disputing that he was promoting his live performances.
So would you agree that by 2012, 13, 14, he is traveling all over the country and the world?
Objection,
15.
respectfully.
If you know. Do you
If
know?
you know,
whether
he's not
Mr. Williams by
speculating.
2015 was traveling all over the country and the world.
Same objection.
If you know.
If you know.
I asked if he knows. Does the Twitter
If you
account
know.
show that he is performing all over the world by 2015?
I don't recall that specific time period where his Twitter account was showing that he was.
Oh,
I wouldn't dispute that he was performing wherever.
I love it.
And as he grew, as Mr. Williams grew as an entertainer, do you realize that his public platform, his Twitter account, his Instagram account, it had more and more followers? Do you know that?
Objection relevant to speculation.
It's promotion.
I sustain all objection.
You realize that, right?
With some
I do
overruled
believe his followers were
today.
increasing during that time period.
In fact, you know that he has millions of followers on his social media accounts, right?
I do.
And those followers, you know, some of them are fans, right?
Most of them.
Objection to speculation.
I sustain the objection.
You read the Twitter
You
posts,
know.
right?
Fuck you, sustain.
Which Twitter post are you referring to?
Any of them. They comment on his songs, on his music, on his fashion, everything he's doing.
I don't recall reading tweets from fans about his fashion or liking his songs or whatever.
Wow.
You've never seen that.
Not that I can recall. Wouldn't dispute that his fans like his music, but I
Give him some more homework
reading
then.
his tweets.
Okay. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Since you want to fuck around.
I would like to play, and I have to get the state's number. But you remember the video with the child being held, wiping the nose and holding up a blood gang sign? Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, I'd like to, I just don't know the number, but I'd like to play that. Yeah, okay, in 1 second, step back and get my notes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
It's 55W, you can pull it up.
I love you too, Cool G.
Just remote play, or put up and then.
Right, when he wore a whole ass dress.
W. Either way, whoever.
It's called Fiend Ignorance.
You can do it, yeah, if you have it. Thank you.
You can publish 55W.
It's already in evidence, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Can you, yes, thank you. Yes, make it bigger. All right. Is that the beginning? Yes. Okay. I'd just like to talk with you about a couple of things. This is States 55W, and thank you so much, Madam District Attorney. Do you see in the right-hand lower corner, do you see an object that says Mixtape Kitchen?
I do.
Okay, and then you see, and some people aren't old enough to know what that is, but, and you may not be old enough, but do you see that being like a cassette tape that people of my age used to know?
I appreciate that. I'm old enough to remember cassette tapes.
Okay, and for people who don't know, just tell them what a cassette tape is, please.
Cassette tapes were a medium by which you could record audible sound. I used magnets to encode a strip of something inside the plastic cassette. That's probably the best explanation I can give you.
That's fine. And what year is this States Exhibit 55 that we're about to go through? What year is this done?
This was, I believe, September 4th of 2009.
Okay, and if you're wrong, you can check whatever you need to see. We're not trying to get it wrong.
Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. And Mr. Williams, just for the ladies and gentlemen jury, would have just turned the age of 18 on this date. Is that fair to say?
Yes, and I apologize. This was not the video from 2009. This was from October the 25th of 2014.
2014?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then he would have been approximately 23, 24.
Let's see this. Yeah, he'd been 23, I believe, at this time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you already said to the ladies and gentlemen jury, those two people you see in the center of the screen, you identified them.
I did.
And the gentleman on the left hand, and it might be a little blurry, but can you identify that person?
I believe that's Marcel Mayfield.
All right. Now, we're going to play it, and with the district attorney's permission, we're going to stop it a couple of times, but if there's anything relevant that you say, hey, I have to tell you this, just tell me and we're going to stop it.
Relevant beyond what we talked about previously.
Yeah, anything that you say, hey, this is important. Okay?
Important to, I'm sorry, important to what?
Anything that comes into your mind, say, hey.
I am way trying to play stupid. Come on.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
what you're
you
asking me to
are.
If you see something that I don't stop the recording, that you say, hey, I'd like to discuss that, just say, I'd like to discuss that section, that's all.
I mean, I've testified to this on direct, so I'm not really sure what I'm willing to discuss at this point about this. I just don't understand what you're asking me to do.
Don't worry about it. We're good.
Ah,
All right, can you play 55?
objection.
I just want to ask you a couple questions.
Absolutely.
Is it clear to you from a viewer, you weren't there when this was done, right?
I was not.
Is it clear to you as a viewer that people are aware that they're being recorded?
In this video?
Yeah, in this video.
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware of the videographer, who that person is?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Are you aware that this video was placed on public domain, Twitter?
I don't recall specifically knowing this video was posted to Twitter.
That's fine. But it was put in the public domain on a account, right?
Sure.
It was uploaded, whatever the right word is, right?
Yes.
Where anybody can get on it who is interested, right?
Sure.
All right. And this says, "Where's my strap?" Right?
It does.
And that wasn't put there by you, right?
It was not.
And for all you know, and I'm not saying you know definitively, but for all you know, that was part of this video.
As far as I know, it's part of the video.
Okay, so somebody wanted to stress the fact that they were looking for the gun, right? Well, is a strap a gun?
It is a slang term for a gun.
Okay. So somebody wanted to stress the fact that, hey, don't miss these words where it's a strap.
Objection, Your Honor, this speculation is so why the person feels where's my strap?
I sustain the objection.
Well, that's what it says, right?
It does say that.
If you could continue. And then Mr. Williams, that's Mr. Williams, right?
It is.
All right, and then he's gonna go back into the house and come out with a gun. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right, if you don't mind playing it. Okay, you see that child?
I do.
And who is that child?
I don't know who that child is.
Who's the parent of that child?
I don't know who the parent of the child is.
And were you aware whether the videographer or somebody thought that we need to have a child do that's a gang sign with a gun, right? Did you see the child do the gang sign?
It's a compound question.
I sustain the objection.
Did you see the child right before we stopped to do a gang sign?
I did.
Okay. And then that looks, and maybe just pointing, but that potentially is a gun. Is that fair to say, the child?
Yes.
All right. Whose idea was it to film this with the child doing these gang signs and the gun?
Objection, speculation.
If
If he
you-
knows,
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you know?
let him say he don't know.
As you sit here testifying as an expert for the jury, whose idea that was?
I do not.
Do you know
That's the point.
that people who are marketing try to, at times, do something to resonate and cause people who are watching or listening to remember? Do you know that?
Objection, vague and speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Are you aware that people who want to be remembered for something at times do something that is outrageous?
Objection, vague and
I sustain the
speculation.
objection.
If he's aware, it's not an improper question. He either's aware or he's not.
Objection, speculation.
If you know.
I sustain the objection, Mr. Foreman.
You are aware that this Mixtape kitchen relates to the song Danny Glover, aren't you?
No, sir.
That was a leading question. That was better.
I think your question may not have been very clear.
Fuck
Mixtape
you.
Kitchen, I believe, is a media outlet, a web-based
Who
media
correct
outlet.
that shit?
Okay. And then this State's Exhibit 55 goes on for, and I don't remember how long, but goes on for three and a half minutes.
Checking off my
3.5 minutes, it says.
list.
You see that?
I don't.
That's
I
fine.
mean, yeah, however many minutes it is.
Okay. And are you aware that it's tied to the song Danny Glover in the studio? Remember that yesterday?
I do remember that it's part of the clip. I'm not sure what it's tied to.
Oh.
Well, it's part of this exhibit.
It is.
Okay. Continue to play it if you don't mind. And we stopped it, Your Honor, at
It's sketchy. It's
44 seconds.
sketchy when you don't have no evidence, Dragon Man. Thank you, Cool View. This one young people. You think they was able to organize anything? So different now.
We're stopping, Your Honor, at 1:18:18. Okay, now we just left the first cut of the mixtape kitchen, and you saw Mr. Williams display a gun, and you saw the gentleman behind display a gun. You remember that?
Gun or finger?
Okay, and the child continued to display what I would call gang signs, right?
Why are you calling them gang signs?
Mr. Williams
Whose side you on?
gave him a handshake or a fist bump, whatever happened, and then wiped his nose. The child, I think, wiped his nose. I don't remember, but whatever the show.
You put it up there and you don't remember.
That's pretty accurate.
All right. Now we're in a different segment, I would say. Everybody moves, or at least a videographer moved, right?
Yes, this is a different place.
Okay. And again, we're going to see young girl who knows she's being recorded. At least it appears that she knows she's being recorded, and she points the gun at the screen. You remember all that?
I do.
And then Mr. Williams manipulated the gun, and then the red light came on.
There is no gun, Steele.
Okay. And that's all part of this, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you can show it. And we're starting the same.
I didn't see a gun, y'all. Let me look again. Let me look close. I see a little magazine. I see a bunch of hands. I don't know what that shit is. Okay, I see a gun right here. Got a light on it. That might be safe. Hope it's on the bottom. You see that gun. You look like the softest dudes ever. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm from New York and none of that, but they don't look like they can bust a grape in a fruit spot.
Okay, cool, okay, boo, I love her. I'm a saver, yes, I did it, brother. I'm gonna call my poppy for her fucking mother.
He looks so much better now, though, honestly. He looks like a skeleton there. I hope he's looking at these pictures of himself also. Like, got my weight up. A stew session. That's the expert if you know what the stew is.
We play it to the end, Your Honor. Investigator, how much experience do you have with sending out to DJs, to followers, an exhibit like States Number 55W to promote music?
I've not ever engaged in music promotion.
Oh.
Do you know how many people in year, and I'm not agreeing with you, by the way, but I understand that, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand you're saying it's October 2014 or September 2014, I think you said.
Yeah, I believe this video was from October of 2014.
That's fine. And thank you.
9 years ago.
How many people were trying to get their music listened to by followers?
Objection relevant.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you know the competitiveness of promoting a song?
Objection relevant.
Defend your question,
Do
Steele.
you know
Give him an
how
offer
many
of proof
other
on the question.
musical artists use trailers, introductions before they go into their song to make people follow them, get interested? Do you know that?
I know that it's done. Do I know how many artists do it? Of course not.
Let me ask you that.
It's regularly done.
And going back to Mr. Williams' number 45, where it's Brian Williams, Birdman, with all the tattoos on his head, etc., and the Happy Birthday blood, right? Remember that?
I do.
Beloved. It's beloved,
That
Brian.
that can all be for entertainment purposes, right? The
Objection to
tattoos.
speculation.
If you know.
Do you know people
If you
who
know.
are in entertainment who get and act a certain way in order to put forward their brand?
Objection speculation.
You gotta frame these questions better. Come on, Steele. Make it a leading question. You asking a fucking open-ended question. That's why you're getting an objection.
The gentleman who performed at the
You've seen the movie before, right? In these
2022?
movies, sometimes they do trailers, right? That happens in the music
I did.
industry too, right?
and
Fuck on.
that person you said did a crip walk. Remember that?
You going-
I was asked if he did, and yes, he did.
I mean, you know that.
I do.
And he did other gang symbols, I guess, or identifiers, right?
He did.
Including his outfit, right? Do you remember the outfit?
I do.
It was like basically a bandana, a blue bandana, right?
Yes, it was.
And that also can.
I don't know that it was promoting his brand. I
Oh,
believe
it's
that
going down. I'll
the use
post
of gang
something
identifiers
about
is promoting
finding
the gang.
one
I
today.
don't believe that a
We
person
talked about Sunday. I got video
has
up
a
there. Check it out.
brand like Young Thug, who is singing about being fearless, does not promote himself when he is wearing tattoos, gang signs, jewelry, etc. You don't believe that that's all promotion?
Objection speculation with those that
I stand objection.
Of course you will.
Let's talk about
I hate that he abandons his line of questioning just because the objection was sustained. Rephrase that shit, Steele. What are you doing?
would you mind please?
Don't run from it. I'll
Mr.
ask that
Before
question
you
again.
launch or pause another question. Ladies and gentlemen, how about we take a
Comfort break.
10-minute comfort break? And then we'll see what the leads us to
Comfort
that
break
point.
time.
We're going to recess about 10 minutes, all right?
Oh man. I need Brian Steele to ask leading questions only. That's it. As soon as we start asking open-ended questions, that's when the objections come. I'm gonna stop doing this in a second. And I need him to stop abandoning his line of inquiry simply because the objection was sustained. There's something, you can either rephrase that question or you can make an offer of proof to the court as to why the question
Please be
is
seated. Our jurors left
appropriate.
us. We'll be in recess 10 minutes, okay?
That's crazy. All right. All right, family. Let me turn that off. Look, the sun was outside today, and I was tricked into thinking it was warm enough to wear this. I do have on full clothes, just so y'all know. I do have on clothes, but I'm freezing my ass off. I'm freezing my ass off. Anyway, we'll see what happens when we resume. Hopefully, oh shit, I didn't put this on Facebook. That's fine. Whatever. I'll come back. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna try to get out of the office now. Before it starts getting too dark, because y'all know I can't do dark. I can't do darkness. Some of these dudes deserve to get pressed out by the law when they put their business on camera. Where I come from, if you bring a camera around, you might get pressed by dudes on the Black awareness, peace, brother. Yes, I've been saying that. I want to say for the past decade. Like if you go to my first videos, some of them, I'm telling you, you have no privacy rights on Facebook, that the feds are watching you. I've been saying it for a long time. But unfortunately, this generation, this is all they know in terms of how to interact with one another. That's what they know, right? So this is what they gravitate to. So yeah, I agree with you on that. But you know, it's this generation, just they interact differently. The judge is dirty as hell. I think he's incredibly biased. I wouldn't say that he's dirty, but it does appear that he is very pro-prosecution. But I will tell you, in my experience, my 20 years of practice, even as a prosecutor, most of the judges that I've appeared before have been very pro-prosecutor. A lot of them are former prosecutors. I'm a former prosecutor, right? So going up against some in some offices, those judges came right out of that office, right? And so they do have a little bit of an affinity towards the prosecutors that appear before them. But this is ridiculous. This is just downright ridiculous. I mean, some of these objections, one, they have no basis in the law. There's no reason for you to be objecting at this time, right? And you're only objecting to interrupt the flow of the defense attorney at that point. So it's strategic. The problem with that is that jurors fucking hate that shit. So keep doing it. Keep doing it, Miss Love and the other chick, I don't know her name. Keep doing it. Them jurors are going to hate you if they don't already. You know why? Because they actually want to hear evidence. They actually want to see how a witness answers a tough question. So if you save your witness every time there's a tough question, the jury is going to really, really wonder what the fuck you're hiding. That's what they're going to wonder, what you're hiding. And guess what? When they don't trust you, they're not going to vote the way you asked them to vote. Okay, if they don't trust you, they're not going to vote the way you asked them to vote. It's not going to happen. It's just not. So I think they really, really need to rethink that strategy, because we're all tired of it. We are all tired of it. We are all tired of the obsessive objections. Tired of it. Make them calculated, make them count, and make them legally valid. Don't just object because you were trying to protect your witness. It's not you. All right, I'm out of here. I'll be back. I'll be back later when the court comes back. I don't know how much more they're going to go, though. It's already 5 o'clock. So he's going to bring them back after the comfort break, and they'll have 3 questions, and they'll be like, okay, we're going to break for the day, and I'm going to ask you to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know. He says tomorrow so weird to me. I don't know if it's a Southern thing. I'm going to ask you to come back tomorrow. It's like, can you lift up your tongue when you say that? Tomorrow. Say tomorrow. All right. I'm out of here. It's your girl here. Ike Speaks. You know I love you. I really do. All right. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.